Hi, my name is Debbie Winstead. I'm a senior at Brigham Young University, Idaho. This is the fall of 2018, and this is my internship presentation. My internship was done through Build Rehabilitation Industries in Sylmar, California. I had applied for an administrative assistant job, thinking it was a construction company very convenient to my home, and I was very, very wrong. I had been looking around on Google to find a suitable internship for a really long time, when this one fell into my lap after I was hired at Build. They needed to have a job coach one afternoon in July, and they asked me, could I fill in? Luckily, we all have to have the same requirements as far as trainings and whatever when we hire in at Build. So this made it easy for me to cover any place that needed to have coverage. So I went out to Ralph's grocery store for my very first job coach experience. This is prior to actually starting my internship. Now, job coaching is a job function that helps intellectually or developmentally delayed adults, we call them clients or consumers, find jobs and then go out with them for a prescribed portion of their work shift to help teach them how to meet the needs of their employer and make sure that the employer is meeting the client's needs. Instructions for how much coaching time is required come from the Department of Rehabilitation, we call it DOR, or the North Los Angeles County Regional Center. We call it the Regional Center, but the initials are NLACRC. A summary for each job coaching session must be submitted, which includes a quantitative analysis with the evaluation. There are certain things that are required by state and federal agencies because these individuals are on SSI. Some of them, we had to make sure they don't go over their hours. So there's a lot of different paperwork that have to be completed properly and timely after each job coaching session, and you have to know how to do that. Some of the places I have helped job coaches at a bakery, at DD's Discounts, Ralph's, Target, AMC Theaters, Pacific Theaters, TJ Maxx, El Pollo Loco, CVS Pharmacy, Galpin Ford, and Build has a work activity program. They call it WAP, and that's where we can shrink wrap and special package, sometimes cosmetics or candies or whatever, for different vendors that need these services done for them. And this gives these individuals an opportunity to be closely supervised and still bring home some money and feel productive. Now, what is required to get a job in job coaching at Build? Well, you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. There needs to be a background check, which has the LifeScan fingerprints done. You need a TB test. Every 2 years, you have to be certified in first aid and CPR. Every 2 years, you have to have sexual harassment training. Then once a year, you have to have trainings in universal precautions, mental health awareness, HIPAA, behavior techniques such as positive reinforcement, and common medications training. Some of the job-specific training include how to complete all the forms that are required whenever you go out and do the job coaching as a Build representative. I looked at the term service because I feel like we're doing a service for these individuals. And the dictionary said that it's the action of helping or doing work for someone. But in this particular case, I feel like we're helping and doing work with someone. And hopefully, like as the last sentence says, he has done as a service. We are doing them a service and helping them become more self-reliant. We each have our shortcomings and trials to face. Some are more apparent than others. We all need to help those who need assistance, and in turn, we often need help ourselves. In the Bible, we can read the story of Ruth and Naomi. After the death of their husbands, Ruth chose to stay and help Naomi, who was her mother-in-law, rather than return to her own home. Sometimes we are the Ruth and sometimes we are the Naomi. And this internship allowed me to help those in my area better themselves and become more independent. And in return, they actually helped me to become a better person. During this period, I came across all types of individuals. I was able to interact and get to know each client personally rather than as a label of a disability. As a senior at BYUI, working on a marriage and family studies bachelor degree, I drew back on the things I had learned in developmental psychology, abnormal psychology, as well as my upbringing in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, where service and ministering is an integral part. From autism to cerebral palsy to head injuries, and those who suffer from seizures, speech issues, or with other physical impairments, we worked side by side and we became a team. I grew away from all those prejudices I had initially had, and I learned to take each individual as just that, a beautiful individual with so much to share in this lifetime. One important connection that I made while I was job coaching was a gentleman named Daniel. He needed some career guidance, and he was not new to working. His diagnosis was HFA, high functioning autism, and initially he was rude and had outbursts. They didn't know how to deal with him. He was working in a Ralph's grocery store where he was a courtesy clerk. Some of the manifestations of adult autism can be seemingly unresponsive when spoken to, with little or no eye contact, and appearing to be indifferent. They take all communication as concrete and have difficulty with figurative or abstract speech. A lot of them do not like to be touched and will have emotional outbursts when they're stimulated. They have a lot of social difficulties. They appear shy, quirky, awkward. They don't make friends very easily, and this really narrows their interests. They often have little or no empathy and are not aware of what they say and how they do hurt. What they do hurts other people's feelings. So at first, when I was coaching, it didn't seem like I was getting across to him. He was never rude or disrespectful. I just couldn't get any responses. Around the second or third session, we started talking about what made him happy. He said he was happy to see me because he trusted me, because I seemed to understand him. And that was huge. So eventually we careered past Daniel towards a degree in film, starting at the local college, Mission Community College. He started with a major task, and so far he has been successful in going to class and handling the workload there along with his job. He is very smart and quite funny, but few really get to see that. There has been some improvements at work and the relationships that he has with other coworkers and with the customers that come into Ralph's. He's still struggling with eye contact and a few other things, but he's getting more and more comfortable as he practices what we've been working. I went into this experience with a negative attitude. I felt it was a dumb idea. However, that quickly changed. As I got to know each individual client and learned about each unique and interesting aspect of them, I was inspired. I looked forward to each new week and what it would bring. I'm sure I grew more and improved more than they did. I shared in their successes and allowed them to share in mine. I found it was this was a very personal venture. You learn so much about the struggles of others, and you begin to appreciate all of your blessings. While we all have struggles, the burdens of them are lessened by those who come along to help lift our loads. They lifted mine probably more than I lifted theirs. What a great opportunity this turned out to be in the long run. I would recommend this sort of internship to everyone who has a desire to help those around them grow and better themselves. If you live in or around the Southern California area near Los Angeles, specifically the San Fernando Valley, I would recommend that you contact Pat Walsh. She's a Director of Employment Services at Build Rehabilitation Services. And she can help you get an employment there as a full-time, part-time, or just to do an internship. We also have a gentleman there named Kevin Shields, and he helps individuals learn how to live on their own. They teaches them how to cook, how to do laundry, how to do a budget, how personal hygiene, and a variety of other different things. It seems like this is sad kind of work, but it's not. It's really invigorating, and you get to learn as you get to learn each person, you get to appreciate where they've come from and where they are now and all the wonderful things that they have accomplished. It has not been easy for them, but they keep trying, they don't give up, and they have a great attitude. And as they share their positiveness with you, you become more positive and you become more invigorated and engaged in your own life as you are engaged in theirs. So again, it's Build Rehabilitation Industries in Sylmar, California. It's in the San Fernando Valley, and you contact Pat Walsh. She is the Director of the Employment Services. It's called SEP, Supported Employment Services, and she will be glad to take anyone in that wants to have the experience and help teach them how to better take care of themselves and other people. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I hope this has inspired you to do an internship or to reach out and minister or to just serve others in any capacity that you can. We're all in this life together, and no one makes it alone. Take care.